Hello friends, thank you so much for joining me. I am so excited and I hope you are too because this is day one of our September yoga challenge that's focusing all on self-care, self-love, body acceptance, all of that good stuff, and I'm so happy that you've decided to join me. Before we get started into the actual flow, I just want to preface this by suggesting maybe you want to set an intention for the next 2 weeks, set some goals and make them realistic, make them something that you can do, that are doable, that you want to do. Know that there's no pressure if you don't reach those goals, but sometimes it's a good idea just to have those kind of realistic goals in mind and then to check in throughout this process, throughout this journey, and then again checking up on those goals and intentions at the end and just measuring without judgment to see kind of how those went, maybe revisiting at the end, were those doable goals? Were those realistic? Were those things that were additive to my life? Did they actually make me feel good? So for me, I guess I'll just share mine. I want to just lower my overall stress levels. I want to reconnect back into my body because I'm noticing a lot of tension and disconnect between my mind, soul, and body. And so I'm hoping just to revisit that. And maybe I won't come to the full reconnection of all of those things, but maybe through reconnecting to my breath, I'll find that kind of ease in my breath. And when we do this, we know when we reconnect to our breath, our anxiety and our fight, flight, freeze responses start to kind of lower. So this is all to say, set an intention that's meaningful and doable to you. For this practice, we'll keep it pretty short just to begin. We'll be focusing on our spinal alignment, strength, and into our shoulders. You might need some blocks, maybe a strap if you know that you're tight. And today's theme is on reconnecting. Reconnect, going off of what I've just said about my own goals, reconnecting to your mind and to your body. So when you're ready, grab a block, maybe place it under your seat, or you can be seated flat onto your seat like me and find a comfortable cross-legged position. Just take the hands to rest on top of the knees with the palms facing up. Maybe closing off the eyes, downcasting the gaze if you're not comfortable closing the eyes. And let's just take a few moments here, a really short period of time, to tune into your body. Where are you feeling tight? Where are you feeling some resistance, some tension? Maybe you want to move really small, wiggling the fingers, moving the neck to take notice of these things. Just be aware of them. And as you do this, take notice of the breath. Is your breath short? Is it shallow? Is it resting all up into the chest? Can you think of ways where you could improve your breath? Maybe deepen it. Maybe soften it. Maybe take it deeper into the belly. Let's take a few cleansing breaths here. Breathing in through the nose for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that breath at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1. Sigh out through the mouth for 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll do a few more just like that. Inhale through the nose for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the mouth. 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more times. Breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Breathing in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. So if your eyes were closed or your eyes were downcasted, lift the gaze open the eyes. Let's breathe in, reach the arms up. Breath out, left hand to the right knee. Twist open to the right side. Other hand comes behind the back. Try to keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. Let's breathe in to lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, maybe deepen this twist. Gaze comes behind the back shoulder. We'll hold here just for one more breath. Breathing in and exhale. On our next breath in, reach the arms up, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the second side, over to the left. Again, the back arm, the left arm comes behind you. Keep it closer in towards the seat as well, just to encourage the spine to stay straight over top of the hips. Let's breathe in, reach a little taller through the spine, through the crown of the head. As you exhale, maybe deepen that twist. Gaze comes behind the left shoulder. Let's hold it here. One more breath cycle here. And your next breath in, let's reach the arms up. Breath out, hands come back down, switch the cross of the legs. This time as you breathe in, reach the left arm up, maybe take a gaze up towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, side bend. Encourage the left sit bone to stay grounded or rooted here. Feeling this really nice side body stretch through the left side, all the way up to the left fingertips. Inhale, exhale, maybe get a little deeper. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, second side, coming over to the left. Now notice any differences from one side to the other. So right away I could get my left forearm down. Maybe that's not accessible to you, so really plant down through the left hand instead. Same idea here, really dig and plant through the right sit bone. Inhale, exhale, maybe deepen, open up through the chest, and inhale, back up. We'll find our way to a tabletop position facing the front of the mat. Get out any remaining wiggles, maybe just bumping the hips side to side, maybe stretching out at the forearms by reaching one hand at a time, fingertips towards the knee, palm face up towards the ceiling. And then maybe facing the fingers towards the knees with the crease of the wrist facing towards the front of the mat. Coming back to center, simple cat-cows. Let's drop the belly, breathe in, lift the gaze, arch through the spine. As you exhale, push the ground away, draw the belly in. Breathing in deep, slow through your cow pose. And as you exhale, push the ground away, round the spine, cat. Do a few more on your own breath. Try to link the breath to movement here. And if it feels good, you can always keep the eyes closed the whole time while you do this. Add your own little flares to this movement. Stretching out through the spine. So your spine moves in 6 ways. We've already done the first 4 with our twists and our side bends. And now we're moving through our contractions, our rounds, as well as our extensions and our arches. Let's keep ourselves on our knees. Finish off any cat and cows there that you were working on. Draw the tummy in here, protract the shoulders. Maybe start to walk the hands a little bit further and forward, the knees a little bit back. So we're coming into a modified plank here. Hands still stack underneath the shoulders. Let's breathe in. As you exhale, chaturanga all the way down, elbows draw in towards the ribs. Point the toes back, press the feet into the ground. As you breathe in, let's lift nice and low, low cobra. We'll hold it here. Really draw the elbows back, shine the heart forward. Reach through the toes, reach through the tailbone to the back of the mat. Inhale, exhale to lower. Let's do that a few more times. Breathing in to lift, just small to start. Exhale to lower, and keep going. If you have any tension in the low back, think about squeezing the seat, and again, really lifting from the center of the chest, the upper back, so the thoracic spine and not the lower lumbar spine. If you're coming up too high, know that if you have pain, you've gone too far and you need to lower this. One more time like this. And let's take the hands maybe to the outside of the mat. Tent the fingers up on the fingertips. Let's breathe in to lift. And as you exhale, dip the left shoulder, open up the chest to the right. Ooh, really deep shoulder stretch there. Breathe in and exhale. Next breath in takes you back to center. Second side as you exhale. Face the chest to the left side as you dip the right shoulder down. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale takes you back to center. Coming back down, plant the hands beside the rib cage. Keep the knees on the ground. Push up through modified plank. Tuck the toes. Send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. So downward facing dog in a yoga class is supposed to be a resting pose, but anyone who's tried a downward facing dog knows that it is quite a strengthening pose as well. To set ourselves up, know that you can always keep the knees bent and the heels lifted. My heels are not on the ground right now. My hamstrings are still waking up. Maybe yours are too. So pedaling out the feet can help with this. Start to draw the tummy in towards the spine. So we're engaging through the core. Open up through the shoulder blades. So shoulder blades are spreading on the back. To take tension out of, out of the wrists, let's take a little bit of weight into the fingertips. Notice if the index finger knuckle is lifting. Plant that index knuckle down. Now come into your lowest position in the heels. If they're still lifted, totally fine. Let's breathe in, reach the right leg high. Keep the hips squared and straight to start. So we're just waking up into the hips, waking up into the hamstrings. Breathe in, breath out, open the hip, draw the toes towards the seat and the knee up towards the ceiling. Engage through the right glute here and notice if the right shoulder is wanting to open up. Try to square off the shoulders. Let's breathe in, extend the leg one more time, square off the hip. As you breathe out, draw the knee in towards the chest. Now you can always come into a tabletop position to do this and step that foot through. Maybe your hand helps you there. Let's breathe in, low lunge. Biceps to the ears. Keep tucking the tailbone down, squeezing the seat to engage the hip flexors, and once you've tucked that tailbone, then sink back down. One more breath. In, inhale, exhale, hands come back down, shift the hips back, coming into your half splits, flex the front toes, toes towards the nose here. Breath in, exhale. Maybe moving, finding a little bit of rocking motion just helps to wake up the hamstring that we're stretching sometimes. Now plant through the left hand, start to walk the front foot back towards the back of the mat. Come onto the inner edge of that foot, so the big toe edge of the foot, use the bottom left knee as a kickstand. Reach the right arm up, modified side plank. Now we can always hold it here. If you want more of a side body stretch, reach the hand towards the top of the mat, bicep to ear. Maybe if you'd like a little bit more, you can start to lift that back foot off the ground, squeezing into the glute, foot in line with the hip. Maybe the gaze comes up towards the ceiling. Think about reaching through that back foot, reaching through the fingertips to either side of the room. Inhale, exhale, look down, plant that foot back down, the hands back down. Come into your tabletop position, wiggle the hips side to side. Let's tuck the toes, lift the knees to hover, draw the tummy in, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Notice any differences from one side to the other. Breathe in. This time, lift the left leg high. Keep the hips squared and keep the legs straight. I'm trying to ground through the right heel. Now start to open up the hip, bend through the knee. Draw the left heel towards the seat and try to aim the knee towards the ceiling. Opening up the hip, really stretching, getting flexibility, or increasing, I should say, our flexibility there. Breathe in, extend the leg, square the hip. Breath out, knee draws in towards the chest, step the foot through. So you can always use your hand to help this out. Drop the back knee down. Let's breathe in, reach the arms up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Again, instead of just sinking right down here, let's tuck the tailbone, squeeze through the seat. So the hip flexors will start to engage when you do this. And then if you can, lower the hips down and forward. Good, great job. Notice if that intention that you've set for this practice or these 2 weeks are slipping away. And notice if you're drifting away from your breath. Try to tune in back there. Inhale. Exhale, the hands come down. Shift the hips back. Stacking the hips over the back knee. Flex the front toes towards the nose, half splits. Again, you can move here. You can practice pointing and flexing that foot. Try to draw the left heel back towards the left hip here as well to activate and stretch through the back of the leg from the hamstring to the calf. Now you can keep the right hand onto the floor or use a block here to come up a little bit higher and bring the floor closer towards you. Start to bring that front foot to the back of the mat, coming onto the inner edge of the left foot, so to the left toe. Maybe reach the top arm up towards the sky. Modified side plank. I got a creaky floor here, I don't know about you. Maybe the gaze comes up towards the ceiling. Maybe you want that side body stretch. Reaching the bicep towards the ear, the fingertips towards the front of the mat. Maybe, again, you want to lift that back leg, squeeze the glute to let this happen, stack the top hip over the bottom. One more breath cycle. Take the gaze down, take the top hand back down, and take that left foot back down as well. And then we'll come through our tabletop position here. Engaging through the core. Let's hover the knees and hold this time. Just hold, hold, hold. Spread the shoulders. Soft bend through the elbows so we're not hyperextending. Inhale. Exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So this is our final downward dog, just to finish off our practice. So notice if the hamstrings are feeling any more open here. Maybe lifting, lowering the heels. We'll start to look forward and tiptoe towards the front of the mat. As many steps as you need. Keep this small. However long it takes to get there, I'll meet you at the front of the mat. Bend the knees, opposite hand to opposite elbow. Let's just sway back and forth, side to side. Allow the spine to decompress. Let's breathe in to our halfway lift. Breath out, forward fold one more time. Step the feet back into our tabletop position, then lower the hips down towards the heels. So this is where we'll finish in our child's pose. If you'd like a more restorative pose, then just start to walk the hands back, resting on the top of the hands with the palms facing up. Let the neck hang heavy, let the forehead touch the ground, touch the mat beneath you. If you want more of a hip opener here, take the knees a little bit wider, maybe towards either side of the mat. But if the knees about hip distance feels better and that's calling to you, listen to that, listen to your body and take that variation. And you're welcome to come down into Shavasana. If you're doing this class in the morning, it's always a good idea to not fall back asleep if you have a busy day ahead of you, so you can take this pose or maybe a seated pose for your final meditation. Just allow yourself to soak in the benefits of this practice. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to the next 2 weeks. Namaste.